This US Open Picks edition of the Sports Gambling Podcast is brought to you by Edge Boost. Edge Boost enables you to double your bet with no interest. Go to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/edge to get started today. We're also brought to you by Bird Dogs Shorts. The world's greatest shorts are hooking you up with a free Yeti style tumbler when you order over at birddogs.com/pool. That's BIRD dogs.com/pool. Welcome everyone to the Sports Gambling Podcast. I'm Sean, stacking the money green with my partner in picks, Ryan, Real Money Kramer. What's happening, Kramer?
Dog. No, you didn't say anything all day. I'm wearing a very nice golf SGPN golf polo.
Oh, that looks fire.
Repping the bull. Yeah, we're repping the. Just repping the brand. You like some advertising from time to time.
Yes.
You're wearing a college football shirt.
I am. I'm wearing a college football experience.
It's not a college football show. We're talking golf.
It's true. Right? I'm more of a football guy, Ryan. But hey, I like talking golf. Like giving out some golf picks. Hey, the Father's Day collection, 10% off. Sports Gambling Podcast or stored at sportsgamblingpodcast.com. Head over there. Use the promo code Father's Day. Get 10% off. I got my dad a SGP golf polo. We got the Nike dry fit polos in the store. Those things are pretty fire, if I do say so myself.
Oh, were you about to hit the board?
No, I wasn't. Right.
I was anticipating some noise. All right.
JR Baltimore says golf. I'm here for it.
Really?
Yes, we got an awesome golf picks podcast going here. US Open preview, even though
it's in LA too.
Yeah, it's in LA, right in our backyard.
Like sands through the hourglass, so are the days of our league.
First ever golf edition of Days of Our League. Oh, hey, we're gonna start our own golf league. It's called the Live Tour. We're gonna give all the players unlimited money. Don't ask where the money comes from. And then they're going to basically buy the PGA out. Right, we haven't even gotten into it. We're going to get into it with the golf gambling guys here.
Can I give you my synopsis?
Sure.
Brooks broke the PGA. I don't see any other version.
I was still trying to make sense of it. In my mind, I thought the PGA still had a bunch of leverage because the Live Tour's ratings suck so hard. But apparently, they were going to lose Jon Rahm, and I think they felt like losing Jon Rahm was like the last straw, and they had to cave. But the PGA president really looks like a huge asshole. When you invoke 9/11 families in your argument against doing something and then do it 2 months later, that's a tough look.
It's like it's like when you hear the Ryan's Roses. Shout out to Ryan Seacrest, and you get that call where you're about to get some free roses, and you just lay out the whore. That's the PGA commissioner. That's pretty much what he did. He's like, all right, I see this coming. Still going for the whore. Sending the flowers to the whore, not the wife. Sorry, girlfriend.
Yes. Don't fall for that trick. Hey, of course, as always, brought to you by Edge Boost, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/edge. Head over there, get a double your bet with 0% interest. Of course, Edge Boost, the first ever bet now, pay later Visa card. Hopefully you got down on some Knights action, gave out the Knights for the series. Congrats to the Knights. That's going to be an awesome scene. I imagine they're going to be doing some sort of party at Circus Sports. I just tweeted it out. I want to see our boy Derek Stevens drinking out of the Stanley Cup. Lord Stanley hanging out at Stadium Swim. It's going to be a super fun time there. But again, double your bet with 0% interest. Again, you're not getting raked over the coals. They're not adding a bunch of points here. sportsgamblingpodcast.com/edge to get started today. Must be 21 years or older to use. Problem gambling. Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Joining us on the line from the Golf Gambling Podcast, Mr. Steve Schirmer. What's happening, Steve? Happy US Open.
Yeah, thank you. And it's nice to see the US Open has come back to Los Angeles at a great golf course you got there. excited to talk about it with you tonight.
Yeah, Ryan, what do you think is?
I gotta be honest. That's the least excited I've ever heard Steve about a golf course.
Well, I mean, it's probably because Steve's worn out. If you watch his 2-hour course preview, where it's just Steve talking about the course for 2 hours, the guy unloaded a ton of content, and I was catching up on some episodes, and yeah, it was great content. I can't imagine going through all Steve's stuff and still having questions about the course, about the event. Like, he really goes insanely in depth, right?
It's like, I mean, honestly, you could sell it on one of those course platforms, no problem. 90 minutes on the architecture, history, and layout of the Los Angeles.
Ryan, how many people walking around Los Angeles today you think are aware there's a golf major happening?
I mean, it's under 5%.
0.0.
It's under.
I mean,
5%.
we're gonna do a man on the street and see if people can name both professional football teams. I would put that like 20% and lower. No one has any idea that a golf major is happening in LA.
Yeah, I mean, more people are gonna think the Raiders are LA's team. So.
Raiders joining us as well. Mr. Boston Capper from the Golf Gambling Podcast. What's happening, Capper?
Not too much, dodging death.
Yes,
betting on golf.
Yeah, wait, Ryan,
you had an opportunity to say the most anticipated return in sports.
Yes, the Jamar Hamlin of podcast hosts, Boston Capper.
That's actually a great point.
Yeah,
just stealing Damar's.
Yeah, I mean, come on, Damar's back at practice. Capper's got to steal his thunder. Well, if we had comeback podcaster of the year, it would be Boston Capper. I think Cam summed it up when he goes, "I hung out with him for a weekend. I'm honestly surprised this was his first heart attack." But
well, look, I mean,
and then you're trying to throw the Rochester food. I was listening to your guys' episode, and Steve's like, "You shouldn't have got the baked beans." He's like, "The garbage plate killed me. It almost killed me."
Well, here's the real deal. We went out on Friday night. Before we went on Friday, he asked, "Hey, can we stop for cigarettes?" And I'm like, "Well, how many you got left in your pack?" He's like, "Oh, I only have 12 left." I'm like, "You only got 12? Like, how many do you smoke?" And sure enough, in about 3 hours, he went through all of them. So you know what? Listen, I'm very happy. Listen, I'm very sad that happened to you, but I'm happy you're recovered. And you know what? I think this is probably going to encourage you to stop smoking with the death stick. So hey, congratulations, Capper.
Great wake up call. And
silver linings with everything.
And before we move on, please say cardiologist for the because you said it before the show, but I want the audience to hear.
I gotta go see my cardiologist on Friday.
It almost sounds like
he tried so hard to say it normal. He tried so hard.
It sounds like a bit. All right.
Terrell saying Capper minus 100,000 for comeback podcaster of the year. You can lock that in. We just did the days of our league. Rarely do you see this kind of golf drama unless Dustin Johnson is involved off the course there. But I'll let you go first here,
nice
Steve.
Nice cocaine joke.
Just a little passing shot. People know that I'm more than the TMZ golf guy. Steve, what is your? My first thought is like, hey, this is good for fans and the fact that all the same guys are playing together. But overall, what's your take on the Live PGA merger here?
So I'll try and give a little bit of a Cliff Notes summary about exactly what's happened. And it's kind of a merger, kind of not a merger. Essentially what they're doing is the PIF, which is the Saudi essentially slush fund of billions and billions and billions of dollars. They're just spreading all over the sports world at this point. They are creating a for-profit entity with the PGA Tour and the DP World Tour, the European Tour, that essentially is going to be the parent company of all these other leagues, Live, PGA Tour, and the Euro Tour. And eventually they're going to kind of figure out, all right, is Live going to continue to exist? Are they going to have team play? We don't really have a lot of details, but that's really all we have right now. And there's a lot of speculation about why this all happened. And the primary reason is twofold. Number one, both of them were suing the hell out of each other. And this was going to be a lawsuit that just embroiled for probably years and years. And I don't think either side really wanted that. I don't think the PGA Tour wanted to spend $50 million a year on money they don't really have on legal costs. And I don't think either side really wanted to go through discovery where some bad stuff would come to light. But it also really is about money at this point. You know, the PGA Tour just can't compete with a kingdom who wants to essentially buy golf. So I think both sides just kind of came to the table. at the end of the day, the Saudis just wanted to have their place at the table with golf. I think you went as soon as they just backed up a Brinks or a truckload of cash to Jay Monahan, the PGA Tour. It's amazing how much somebody's opinion can change. 9/11
new stuff has come to light. What is the new stuff? How much money they're going to give you?
Yeah.
Like, come
Exactly.
on.
Monahan's such a fucking scumbag.
Yeah,
like,
how
unbelievable scumbag.
How does Monahan like say he's lost all credibility with the PGA guys that have stuck around? I'm sure they'll cut them a check so that they shut up and don't like strong arm or make things worse. I imagine. I mean, these guys turned down millions, some 100 million. Supposedly Tiger turned down $1 billion.
Let's workshop this for a bit. At what price is a man's life worth taking?
I mean,
you fuck a guy over $1 million, you're getting hit in the 70s in New York City.
I watch.
But that's the whole point is that all like Monahan and all these other fucking assholes tried to take like the morality issue of it. And that was always my issue with it. I was like, shut the fuck up. Like, you're lying. Like, if they gave you the money, don't bitch about where the money's coming from. And 60 days later, he's doing it. And apparently Monahan had a health issue today and now is stepping down for a little bit. So it sounds like the Saudis already doing their poison dart routine to get him removed.
In this case,
Mr. Monahan, please be a guest of the Sultan. I don't know. I don't know what happened to Jay. Got lost there.
It does seem like maybe in hindsight, maybe we don't go so aggro on the moral high ground.
Yeah, I mean the 9/11 families thing is really like that. You didn't, and then to Steve's point, like a part of the discovery process, they were alleging that the PGA was flying these 9/11 family victims to these live events, like basically helping them protest and getting them all worked up and like facilitating it, which the DOJ saw as like an antitrust thing. So yeah, it got really
unrelated, but yeah, I didn't know that was a thing. I didn't know there were people that like worked at professional protesting circuit. It happened in my town. People showed up to protest some school stuff, like all the Pride Month stuff going on. And they didn't realize they were in a different city than LA. They brought all their signage was LAUSD when in fact we were not LA.
Glendale?
So they showed themselves as being but that's but back to the point. PGA again, like if you just my angle, if I'm being completely objective and all right, the guy's a scumbag, but I'm looking past it, it's just business. You're a horrible leader.
Yeah.
How did you not see this coming to not play that card that's going to make you look like a absolute fuckstick? And
even just go behind the scenes and talk to a Tiger Woods, talk to a Rory, and be like, guys, our back is against the wall. They're forcing our hand financially. Here's what we're going to have to do to keep the whatever his take is, and he still hasn't really, to my mind, really satisfied it.
His take is the
fact that they all found out at the same time on social media. You just look like a complete douche, and I feel like he's lost a ton of credibility.
If I've learned one thing in corporate America, it's that when something goes down like this and no one knew, it's a bad decision. It's a bad move. Someone got strong armed. Like, this isn't the move they wanted to make. This isn't this was a hostile takeover potentially, or dude's just a complete piece of shit. And he's a narcissist who like a sociopathic narcissist who thought he was probably doing the right thing. But
it's definitely the second, I believe. I think it's the second, especially when you factor in this shadowy guy named Jimmy Dunn, who also used 9/11 to like mark his life and like used it for inspiration because he ran a company inside the trade towers. He was golfing that day, so he wasn't in the office, but he lost 60 people, and it's been this big thing for him. And now he's perfectly fine taking the PIF money, and it's the hypocrisy of these assholes who run leagues like this. It's just mind blowing. And like, listen, the PGA golfers will be fucking fine. They're all going to get cut a fat check and everybody will be fine. Saudi essentially bought golf. They're the only people who can let in other capital investments. They're not going to have the majority, but they're going to be the biggest dick in the room. So they're going to be able to do whatever they want with it. And let's just hope they don't fuck it up.
Yeah, I mean, like, so Jay Monahan went from making $8 million per year as commissioner, Burther $990 in 2021 to probably making, I would say, upwards to $20 million or so, a large salary increase. He's CEO at this new for-profit company. And look, I mean, like that's essentially what happened. It was the Saudis and their lawyers with Monahan, Jimmy Dunn, and this other guy. I think his name's like Ed Leahy or something. He's a lawyer too. And then their legal team, they all kind of negotiated this. I feel like because they stand to benefit the most out of all this with big promotions, a lot of money into their organization. And sure, I mean, like if the PGA Tour players right now, they're upset because Monahan really hung them out to dry. I mean, Rory was essentially the speaking commissioner for a year and a half on this, and Monahan would just send him to the podium, and then he got thrown under the bus. But at the end of the day, though, it sounds like these guys are going to get some sort of equity stake in the new company. That's important because now that they're a for-profit company, they can actually do that, pay these guys kind of compensation instead of using sponsorship or other kind of workaways to funnel money to their best players. You know, and overall, though, it's just going to be nice to have everyone back under one umbrella, whatever that looks like. You know, it was a huge pain in the ass, especially for gambling too, where you had like all these fields were so watered down and the odds were terrible. So maybe we'll get a little bit of better outright prices, but we'll see. But you know, I mean, overall, like at the end of the day, it's a really shady move they all pulled off, but I think in the long run, as long as they don't really screw up the structure and the organization of the new league, I think it's going to work out for the best.
Yeah, I mean, if anything, what the money, like all of the operations that have come out of Saudi or Qatar, I mean, if they have been mostly successful.
Yeah.
The teams have mostly gotten better. The thing has mostly been a spectacle. I think what's interesting in this case is they built
right.
They built a joke league.
I like what you're doing. Keep hyping up the Saudis. They got some money to kick around. Maybe they start getting interested in podcasts and ignore all the stuff that I or Capper or anyone on this network that have said negatively. All hail the Sultans.
But because the latest thing that Saudi tried to get into is this. That's why people are offended by it. But Drive to Survive.
Well, wait till.
My God, dude! Formula One is so amazing. I can't wait to see when Red Bull brings back Daniel Ricciardo. Like,
you want?
Where do you think that money comes from?
You want to really take over sports besides buying the golf league? You got to get into sports gambling. What's the way to get into gambling? Sultans, we're here. Drop us an email, podcast@sportsgamblingpodcast.com.
Yeah, that might have been the Alabama coach's friend, just the Sultan trying to
get a little inside Iggy.
Like, sir, 300,000 on a college baseball game.
Steve, let's talk about the course, and then we'll get to some of these golfers. Who do we like? DFS Idol, of course, everyone's favorite. Schirmer, reigning champ of DFS Idol. He's the Clay Aiken of DFS Idol. So congrats, Schirmer. Although wait, Clay Aiken I think got second.
Why is that dirty?
Clay Aiken sucks.
Wow, come on.
Did he win or wasn't he second?
He might have been second.
Yeah, he lost to Ruben.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're the Ruben Studdard.
Come on, dude.
Well, Clay
You're
Aiken,
embarrassing
people
us as a
know.
right
No one's heard of
Clay Aiken. Probably is still working that tour.
No,
there's enough places that would take him in.
He's keeping himself busy.
He's like a stray cat.
Steve, LA Country Club. What do we like? What's the take? I know the rough, super long, super thick. The weather, it's gonna be interesting. It was supposed to get better later in the week, Thursday and Friday, but now I'm seeing some showers,
some June gloom.
Where are we at with this course for the US Open?
Yeah, so I mean, this is kind of a big mystery to a lot of people. I mean, we've only seen the play at LACC either at the Pac-12 championships about a decade ago, which it was a different setup to the golf course, or the Walker Cup. That's an amateur. It's essentially the amateur version of the Ryder Cup, where a lot of big names played in it. Scotty Scheffler, Colin Morikawa, Will Zalatoris before he got injured this week. So that was on TV. That was a lot of my reference point to try and see how this place played. I mean, overall though, so just at a high level view, what is this place? Very wide, firm and fast track with very interesting green complexes, very tricky greenside surrounds, and it's going to play really long. So it's about 7,400 yards, par 70, but there's 5 par 3s. So essentially, if you tack on another 200 yards to a par 3, it's about 7,600 yards. Me
and my buddies were talking about like some of these par 3s. I think are like 290. Like these par 3s are insane, right?
Yes, but the thing is, though, there's a lot of elevation changes tee to green at this place. So those that par 3 you're thinking of, it's 290 yards, but it's about 60 feet downhill. So it really plays more like a 250 yard shot. Basically, there's this little bump before the green that you kind of want to bounce the ball to it, and it'll funnel the ball right down to the green. So it sounds insane. But a lot of these longer holes, like there's, I think, a 540-yard par 4 that plays 50 feet downhill to a firm fairway. You're probably going to see guys maybe have like 200, 190 yards of that green if the ball's really rolling. So it's going to play a lot shorter on some of those, but there's some really dramatic elevation changes going uphill as well. And those are some really tough shots. It's going to ask for a lot of things in your bag this week. And it's a typical US Open. You got to drive the ball well. You got to hit your irons great. You got to putt well. Around the green, I think the one thing about it is, what I noticed at the Walker Cup was guys were not hitting very good bunker shots. There's not a lot of sand in these bunkers, so it's really hard to get up and down from. So I think just really good iron play is really important this week. Long iron play, especially. And there definitely is a strong trend to that. No matter what US Open golf course we've gone to, the guys who tended winning end up being the guys who drove with the best. I think 11 of the last 14 winners have been inside the top 13 strokes gained off the tee. Now some people might think that might not matter this week with wider fairways, but they play a little narrower in some spots because there's a lot of sloping to them. If you hit the wrong side of a slope, it'll go to the wrong side, and then you have to carry over a bunker or you can't get to a pin. So I think overall, I don't think there really is a criteria to be long or short, but I think you got to drive it extremely well. And I think that's going to set you up for a lot of success at this place.
I did put out or retweet one of those videos where they showed the dude dropping the ball into the rough.
Oh yeah. That thing is gone. And 290-yard par 3, even downhill. I feel like driver twice and I'm there. I'm on.
Yeah.
Imagine
playing a course that's like that long and with rough like that.
Yeah. The rough shot is
You'd have
insane.
to have like a ball indicator. There's no way we'd be able to find our ball, right?
No, that's what they get the spotters for. They throw the little flags. Like we would need a dozen balls for the front nine. Forget about it.
It seems like putting's gonna matter a lot. I know Scheffler has been struggling with his putter. Is he someone on your list you like, or are you off on Scotty this weekend?
It's terrifying to bet against Scotty, right? Tee to green, he's insane right now. We're talking like Tiger Woods levels with his off the tee, his iron game, everything except for putting. His putter is broken. He's 6.5 to 1 for a reason, but he's
only plus 650 outright.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Man. Yeah, it's insane. And look, with as many par putts as guys are going to have to make from 5 and 10 feet, historically at US Opens, like I said, we don't know how this is going to play, but these greens look fast and undulating. I'm not going to, with 160 guys in this field, there's probably 20 guys who can win, maybe less. And Scotty's one of them, but at 6.5 to 1, I'm not going to play it.
What about I feel like breaking news. I did not put him in my DFS lineup, but I do want to talk about him here. What about our boy Tommy Fleetwood, Capper? Are you riding? Yeah. Are you riding Fleetwood this week?
Yeah. So I had a ticket for him last week.
I know.
He almost put me back in the hospital, so that was fun.
Wait, did the doctor tell you not to bet?
Yeah,
on golf?
I know he should say Kramer. We got to talk to Capper's doctor. We got to tell him, okay, no smoking, no drinking, no betting on Tommy Fleetwood, no chasing with late parlays, only 3 first-round leaders. Like, we need to actually talk to his doctor to give him.
We need to do a consult.
Yeah,
I'll call you guys up.
They're looking at the heart, and we can the plaque that has accumulated just from your golf bets alone. Like, we got to talk to this guy.
I'll be honest, I'm worried about football season.
Yeah, I know. That's why we got to get to it. Carrot sticks help, but if you're still like putting in massive bets that you're just gonna stress yourself out, we're worried.
Listen, baby steps, man, baby steps.
Yeah,
by the time
true.
football season rolls around, that'll be good. But yeah, Fleetwood typically plays well in tougher conditions around the green. Putting, he's fine. I just didn't like his I don't know. I didn't like his killer mentality this past Sunday, but fuck do I know? He's out in the playoff and I'm not. But I like him as a DraftKings play. Probably not an outright. I don't think he's going to win. But DraftKings play is fine.
You do. Okay, man. I have to adjust this. Steve, what about we saw Brooksy live guy win.
He's not. 5-time major champion, maybe.
Yeah,
not just the live guy.
No, but I'm saying we just saw live guy win with Brooks Koepka. Do we see back-to-back live guys win? Maybe Phil Mickelson finally gets his US Open. How say you, Steve?
I understand why people might speculate about Phil Mickelson. It is Phil, and it's always fun to root for him. And, there are some Augusta National comps to this place with the uneven lies, the elevation changes, kind of wide corridors. I think the difference is, though, when Phil goes to Augusta National like he did back in April and just shows up, he knows the course like it's on the back of his hand, and he knows exactly where to miss it at this place. Here, though, I mean, he hasn't seen it. I think he actually was practicing at home the first 2 days before coming in, I think tomorrow to play, which I don't think that's a great plan. So the fact that, there are definitely places you don't want to miss here, especially around the green, around the wrong side of the fairway. So if you don't really have a good scouting report of this place before it, I mean, I just don't see it. So I get it with, you got to have a really good short game, and he's a magician around the greens. But as far as winning, I don't think we're going to get a repeat of what happened in Kiawah a couple of years ago.
Yeah, that was a pretty cool moment there. When
Especially
everyone was
now,
like following with him, and
he just looks skinny. I wonder if he can make it through a round.
well, he's probably gonna.
He was 200-1 as well. And it was like right after COVID. So it was like when the crowds were actually back and like we could like be around each other.
Yeah.
Like it was fucking amazing. Like I think I had Brooks money too, and I was still happy.
Did you guys see the Phil Mickelson tweet? Like someone on Twitter was giving him shit about his gambling problem, and he goes, I don't even gamble anymore. And he goes, by the way, what could I do with $800 million that I couldn't do with $760 million? It's like, wow, I've never seen someone brag about losing $40 million in gambling, but here we are, Phil. And again, like him tweeting out when the merger happened, he's like, what a great day.
Oh yeah, he was on the troll tour that day.
It was.
I mean, like his Phil made a lot of noise about it, but he ended up being right about a lot of this stuff too.
Yeah.
So it kind of was a victory lap a little bit for him.
Yeah, he was saying like, hey, PGA, we know there's more money to be found. Like, find that money. Now, PGA, in that short term, they were all of a sudden there's these bonuses and some more money coming in, and it was a great day to be Phil. But him bragging about losing 40 million gambling was just, oh man, that guy is just a true
#Legends only.
All right, we're gonna get to some DFS idle. Before we do that, shout out to Bird Dog. And truly, Bird dogs are dogs, man. I'm wearing the shorts now. I'll show them off here. You know what? I'll just show them off right now because these things are incredible. Ryan, keep talking about Bird Dog's shorts.
I guess I'll go. Do we want to go? Oh no. What are we doing? You're getting really close to the camera. We don't have.
Go back to. Oh, we don't have that camera.
Wait, you want me to go here? Here, come back. Here we go. It's my shot, but okay, we'll go here. Come a little.
Look at these shorts.
All right, so Sean, youtube.com/sportsgamblingpodcast. Sean is showing off a lot. I will say one thing about the Bird Dogs: they don't leave much. They don't leave much hidden. It's a good thing they have that liner inside, keep everything in place.
No, I mean these.
I don't know what you had planned that to be, but that.
Sorry, Ryan. It's my first short modeling gig, but again, the built-in liner and built-in boxers are amazing. It truly feels like you're free balling, but you're not. And again,
why not?
What do you mean?
Well, you could be.
No, you have the built-in liner. I'm saying it feels even better than.
But you're not double bagging it in there.
No, exactly. Geez. That's what you're not free balling because you have the built-in liner. No. Again, the anti-stink sweat wicking fabric keeps it cool and dry all day long. I love these Bird Dogs, and look at this badass Yeti tumbler they throw in for free. Birddogs.com/pool. Enter promo code pool for a free Yeti style tumbler. I just did my hot yoga class in the mesh short ones.
No chafing.
Now, oh dude, you're gonna completely forget about any.
I will say I've had some chafing issue my day.
Yeah. If you're one of those guys, baby powder because you get
that's amateur hour.
And read about those lawsuits. I'm not here to disparage Johnson & Johnson, but read about some of those talcum lawsuits. No. You got to just go to Bird Dogs.
Fuck up your testicle.
Amazing product here. Birddogs.com/pool for a free Yeti style tumbler. You won't want to take your Bird Dogs off. We promise you. I'm not taking these things off.
You go powder.
I mean, the US Open could end. I'm going to still be wearing these same pair of shorts, right? And that's how comfortable.
You go powder on the back country. You're going to come out with a cake.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be horrible.
All right.
And shout out to Easy in the chat saying you should rename your company the Saudi Gambling Podcast Network. We're completely open to that.
No, we love
the
America.
PIF fund.
we do love America.
Yes,
but also,
and what more American than taking a bunch of Saudi money?
Well, I mean, we are a global economy, Sean.
We are reaching out.
Some people open their eyes. Some people choose to close them. Which, by the way, if you do open your eyes and watch that alien video in slow motion, it does appear like there could have been an alien. In the
The Vegas one?
Yeah, that one seems legit.
Well, you know what it is? The aliens see what Elon's up to, and they realize we're gonna have space travel soon. So now they have to act.
They're in on it. All right, Kramer, you are the reigning champ. Congratulations, and
Play the music.
Go first.
Play the championship music.
And we don't really have it.
Yeah, UFC like give me some like
all right, let me see if I have it here.
I
want a dick rubbed on me tonight.
Oh wait, sorry. That's the only one I have. Here you go.
I want a dick rubbed on me tonight.
All right, here he is, your 3-time DFS title champion in the Giants corner, hailing out of New Jersey. All right, Kramer, that's all I got.
Brooks Koepka.
Okay.
Why the fuck would I not have Brooks Koepka in there? 10,800. There's no handicap here. This is my golf handicapping right now. Brooks broke all of golf. He created a crack so large that the PIF, not Live Tour, the PIF was able to get in and take over and pay everyone more money horribly. So yeah, Brooks Koepka, momentum.
Guys, how say you?
He has been partying.
You go first. What do you got?
About that?
Yeah, I mean, look, the ownership's actually kind of low. I expect him to catch more steam. But 13% Brooksy. He's a killer at majors. I mean, he just went out and proved it. He's great at US Opens. If it's going to play like we think it's going to play, where
he's won too.
Par is your friend. And the way he was firing, one of our buddies, Joe Idoni, like charted every shot in the 4th round, and I think the farthest one on the PGA was like 7 feet or something ridiculous. So he can do it. The only thing I'd worry about is he was going skiing down here in the summertime for it seems like a long period of time.
Florida skiing.
Yeah, a little Florida skiing, watching those tees, and not sure how much sleep he's gotten over the past couple of weeks. But I guess the Panthers got eliminated tonight, so maybe that'll help. But that would be the only reason.
Panthers got eliminated a couple days ago.
Yeah,
that was a real sad performance. I would say, yeah. I mean, part of the handy, not that I wasn't going to play Brooks, but it does also seem like Scheffler's going to get a lot more ownership.
Oh yeah, Scheffler's probably going to push over 20%.
Steve, how say you on Brooksy here?
Yeah, I mean, Kramer's pandering to the judges here because I know that Koepka is always a soft spot for me. And of course, I'm not going to say anything bad about Brooks Koepka. And look, I mean, like a couple comp courses to this place that I looked at this week with rolling terrain, wide fairways, Erin Hills, Shinnecock Hills. Those are two extremes of what this US Open could be. I think LACC is going to be right about in the middle, but guess who won those US Opens? Brooks Koepka. So obviously really good at Augusta National too with uneven lies. So no concerns there. I think the only thing, I don't think he's going to actually win this one because every single major he's won, he's played the week before. And I like seeing that cruise control Sunday where he's kind of saying like, all right, it's go time now. He didn't get that. He hasn't played in a couple weeks, but I think a solid top 10 finish is definitely in order for Brooks. I see no reason why he can't play well at this place at US Open. He's perfect for this type of setup where it's good to be conservative at this place, especially at LACC, where there are places where if you are too aggressive, you can be in just horrible spots. Koepka's very smart with how he approaches golf courses. I think he's going to be very smart with this one. And based on what he said in the press conference today, he's locked and ready. Like someone asked him a question about Live and PGA Tour, and he just blew off the question and said, essentially, I don't give a shit about that. I just care about the majors, and that's why I'm awesome at this.
Hard to fade Brooksy. I like him.
Please tell me you have him in your lineup, Sean.
No, I don't.
Oh my god,
don't have Brooks.
What are you doing?
I'm going for my big dog. I'm going Jon Rahm. Of course, 11 PGA Tour victories. 5 of them occurred in California. Made the cut. 15 straight majors. So he's at least getting you to the weekend there. And again, strokes gained approach over the last 24 rounds. He's second, only behind Scotty Scheffler, who we're fading because he can't putt. And proximity, 175 yards plus over the past 24 rounds. Jon Rahm is number 1.
I got something else for you.
What do you got?
Well, Steve mentioned the 2013 Pac-12 championship, where a lot of people are talking about Max Homa playing there, but Jon Rahm also participated in that event. So
let's go.
Little course knowledge too there for you,
Steve. How say you, Jon Rahm?
Well, unfortunately, that Pac-12 championship, I think he bombed out. I don't think he played very well. So it was probably very negative course history. But still, regardless, though, I mean, look, it's hard to poke holes in Jon Rahm's resume. I mean, you got to have really good combination of length and accuracy to this place to make sure you're on the correct side of the fairway. And Jon Rahm is arguably one of the best in this field. There is that strong trend of 11 of the last 14 US Open winners have been inside the top 20 in strokes gained off the tee. I think he's about 17th. This year in that category, really good from 175. You know, a couple little nits about his resume, not the best wedge player. There's a couple wedges at this place where he might get in trouble. You know, he's been struggling around the green a little bit too lately, and his record around the green on Bermuda has been all that strong. But overall, though, I mean, you know, there's some concerns, I think, in his past about if he's mentally fit for a US Open. He's a different cat now. It's a fine pick, even though it's garnering a little bit of ownership in this range. I think he's probably going to be, you know, either second or third highest above $10,000. It's Jon Rahm. I think he's coming a little bit under the radar like he did before the Masters. So I think that's a good pick.
All right, I'll take it.
Yep.
Close enough to a victory.
It felt negative, but he came back to a good pick.
Picked a couple nits, but that's, you know, Steve.
It's only because I bet him outright. And the fact that he just And the fact that you just criticized Jon Rahm's wedges after I brought up Rory McIlroy's shitty wedges, and then you said you don't have to worry about wedges on this course, and then you just use poke a hole in my guy, I find offensive.
You know, pot calling kettle black because you spin any sort of thing in order to make a guy fit in your lineup.
Backs are there to be spun, Steve. Backs are there to be spun.
All right, fine. Fair enough.
You know,
I get that.
Capper, how say you on
I love Jon Rahm. Yeah. He's always been one of my guys. He lost, I think, over 5 strokes putting this past week. Yeah, I mean, it's one of his worst putting performances since. It's actually his worst putting performance since 2018. So I don't see him doing that again. Steve is right as far as like around the green. It's always kind of a concern with him. It just depends. I hope it plays like Augusta. Obviously, he can win and chip around there if it plays like that with some of the runoff areas and things like that. Yeah, but I love Jon Rahm. He's a killer. Yeah, I mean, that's it. I mean, I like Rahm and Brooks. I like them both, but I bet Rahm.
And make sure you check out the Golf Gambling Podcast. Make sure you smash that subscribe button. Check out the guys, do a great job on the show. I really like their elimination game, Ryan, that they play. It's Steve cobbles together a bunch of the trends, and they put all the golfers in there, and it's like a slowly, you know, knocking off essentially which couple or one guy fits all these different, you know, past indicators. It's a great way to look at it, and they've done a good job hitting on some of these, whittling them down, and putting together a nice little run there. Kramer, how say you? Who's your second golfer?
Well, it's, by the way, that Pac-12 championship, Max Homa set the course record. Fun fact.
Oh, wow.
I think he still holds the course record.
Sounds like you're playing.
He does.
No, I'm not going to play him because I think he's going to be super chalky for that reason. Okay. So Steve was very, very wise to point out also that the Walker Cup was there. Scheffler, Colin Morikawa. Again, these names are being touted as a little bit of course history. I've not seen a ton of places mention the fact that Mr. Patrick Cantlay, which I hope I'm not creating bad team dynamics, putting Cantlay and Koepka on the same team, but he's a UCLA guy.
Oh, okay.
From what I understand, UCLA, the guys play some rounds over there. Again, this was back in 2012, but still, maybe there's some course wisdom there passed down through the years with the UCLA Bruins. So we'll call it narrative handicap, course knowledge handicap, 10,300. Patrick Cantlay. And I think also I'm avoiding the chalkier options up at the top, aka Victor Hovland,
Steve, Jon
Rahm, and Scotty Scheffler.
Yeah, I mean, he's not garnering a ton of ownership this week. It was just surprising to me because I thought people would go with that narrative too. I think people are just kind of done with Patrick Cantlay at majors. And look, I kind of went into the week a little cool on him. I was concerned about the Bermuda history with him and some of his problems around the green, most notably with a really bad performance last year at Southern Hills with the same agronomy at this place. But look, I mean, like, he has played this place a couple dozen times that he said. His home course in California is Bermuda and bent grass. He lives in Jupiter, Florida. He plays at Medalist. So, you know, some of his Bermuda concerns have been a little bit alleviated over the last year and a half or so. Maybe he's a little more comfortable with that surface. And if that's the case, I mean, Cantlay has a lot of things of what you're looking for. Great driver. The iron plays been a little bit up and down, but really good on bent grass, although on major championship venues hasn't been all that great. Low bogey rates. And I think with this place, though, just with no one really seeing it, you know, he seems like a really cerebral guy who maybe with some of his past majors hasn't been all that great because he over prepares. Max Homa kind of talked about that in an interview this week, but the fact he kind of knows his golf course very well, maybe he can just go out and play golf, and maybe that's going to be enough for him to have a decent finish this week. So I've kind of come around on Cantlay. I know my co-host vehemently disagrees on this.
Now we're talking.
Take it right now.
Now controversy.
Real quick, before you shit on my pick.
Yeah.
We were discussing before the show, Sean, in the office, the proper amount of days that we had to be nice to Capper after since he had a medical emergency.
Oh wow, you guys are gonna bust my chops.
What
I'll
it
have a
sounds
heart
like,
attack.
sounds like I'm throwing out my 60 days. It's been long enough. All right, Capper, tell me why it's a horrible.
All right.
Tell me why it's a horrible pick.
So it's not a horrible pick, right? Every stat model is going to say every stat model is going to say can't lay.
What's your model? I know that? Does your model say that?
Every fucking time? And he just does it. Look, he had played better. He was good at the PGA. He chose a T10. He was or T9. He was never in contention. Masters never in contention. Like he might backdoor you a top 20, but at 10-3. He's just got to prove it to me. I'm sick of it. And like, I don't know, he's like watching fucking paint dry too. So it's a guy who I'm not a fan of to begin with. Steve's right though. All the stats point to him. Great on bent grass, not great in majors. He's a stud off the tee this year. He lost a ton of strokes putting at the Memorial. That's not typically him. So that's not something I would be worried about. The up and down iron game, maybe, but yeah, I mean, look,
Sean, you know
I
what they
get
say.
why everybody's picking him and why Steve bet him. I just can't. I'm like the abused wife, man. I can't take it no more.
One other point about Cantlay, by the way, they're saying that there's going to be it's going to be really slow pace, really slow rounds at LACC, and maybe that's actually going to play in the Cantlay's advantage because everybody complains about his slow play, including my co-host, rightfully so. It really is painful to watch, but the fact that no one's really going to be on his ass, calling the clock on him. Maybe that's going to make him kind of comfy.
Wait, you got to? Do you have that clip of?
Pay up to be contrarian.
No, remember
Brooks
stroke.
Yeah,
Brooks talking
him.
about stroke. Ryan, see if you can find that because that really cracked me up. My next golfer, $8,900, Mr. Tyrell Hatton. He was only one stroke off the lead at the Canadian Open, top 15 in each of his last 5 events, including 3 top 5 finishes, top 20 shots gained, OTT shots gained, APP shots gained, putting. I only know what the putting means.
Golf Sean's a fucking nerd.
I assume the other 2 are pretty good. I like the price. I heard Capper say he has the attitude to win this, which I'm an attitude gut handicapper. Do you like him for DFS at $8,900, Capper?
So I think you misheard me about his attitude. His attitude is something I love because he's hot tempered and he throws clubs and screams at balls. And,
love it.
So, but I don't know if that's the mentality to for a slog to win the US Open. I love Hatton as a golfer and as a fellow degenerate. But listen, everything you said is right. I mean, he's in great form. He's playing some of the best golf of his life right now. More consistent than ever, I would say. Obviously, I mean, you saw the round on Sunday. You can get insanely hot with the flat stick and really just bury guys and make a run up the leaderboard. I don't know if he's going to win it, but especially at his price at 8,900 with as many birdies as he can make, he can easily outscore his DraftKings position and be really solid for you. The only thing I'd worry about a little bit is his Open history hasn't been good, but his Masters history was even worse than it was this year. I mean, he came in 34, so maybe he can improve on that as well. Steve,
how say you on Mr. Hatton here?
Yeah, I mean, I like my co-host trying to, shine a turd by pointing to Hatton's T34 finish of the Masters where there's only like 90 guys in that field. So, listen, he only beat, 2/3 of them. But look, I mean, everything my co-host says is correct. He's been playing extremely well, probably the best, most consistent PGA Tour performances all this year. Here's the thing, though, my co-host just mentioned it. The US Open record is not very good. You wonder if he has kind of the head for this thing. There are some golf. You never really know sometimes with Tyrell Hatton if he's going to like a golf course or not. Like he doesn't really like Augusta National because he thinks it's kind of unfair. There's a lot of Augusta National comps this place. Is that going to be a factor too? Yeah, I mean, like he does fit the trend of like really good off the tee. I think he's ranked like 12th or 13th in strokes off tee this year. But the thing is, though, you look into it a little bit. None of it's really elite in any category. I think he's like 50th in distance and like 70th in accuracy. So it might be a little fraudulent how he's doing it. He's been doing a lot of it lately with the putter. His bogey rates are a little high too, so that can really snowball for him. And it seems like he's really popular in DFS this week. I don't really like him a whole lot. I think there's some other guys around him that I definitely prefer more at lower ownership. So I'm
this is devastating.
not on the Terrell Hatton bandwagon this week.
This is just devastating.
I was gonna mention it, but Cousin Mush also.
Oh yes,
in on Hatton. So
also Mush. He's trying to qualify for the Rhode Island amateur thing, right?
Oh yeah, right. Wow. All right, maybe we can get some insight,
get some content of him throwing clubs at his competitors, screaming at him.
Let's see. He goes probably got to shoot 77 or lower. Can be done. Fingers crossed. So yeah,
I played with Mush, man. He can shoot 77.
Yeah, I would say he definitely. If you showed up to the first tee, you'd be surprised.
You would have no idea. Yeah, you would have no idea how good a golfer he is.
Yeah, he once said golf is the only thing I'm good at, and he was really good.
Yeah.
Steve, all right, you
also went to high school with Joe Mazzulla. I wanted to bring that up.
Should I swap in Matt Fitzpatrick or Cam Smith at this price point?
We're swapping.
Yes.
Yeah. Cam Smith.
Cam Smith.
Cam Smith.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right.
And I'm gonna note that. So if that somehow bites you in the ass, you can yell at us.
Oh yes.
Okay.
All right. Official.
But
swap.
remember, don't start grave dancing like you did last time on a Thursday, and the guy was cut by the end of Friday.
Why? That's fun though. Come on.
I didn't know we were changing our lineups.
100%. I'm changing my lineup after getting those kind of notes and feedback. Ryan, this is a work in progress.
Yeah, you just turn your lineup into Capper's dream. You got two of his boys right here, Rom and Cam Smith, and I love Cam Smith a lot this week. I mean, you definitely just got a favorable rating from my co-host.
I'm just trying to impress the judges. That's it. Kramer, who's your third golfer?
I wonder if there's any integrity left in this world. And by the way,
technically
Sean,
you're breaking the rules, right? So I don't know.
How would you fix it?
Honestly, I'd start stroking guys. If you're going to take that long, you got to get stroked. Doesn't matter if you're, there's certain circumstances where, the wind switches, something like that. It's understandable, but
stroke them.
Stroking guys.
Good. Who's your third golfer?
Do you think he knew? All right. So obviously when I started, the second I saw that it seems like intelligent people are suggesting that Ricky Fowler could be a good play this week, I said, well, no need to research any further. He's good mojo for the squad because Cantlay and Koepka are going to be on his ass because Koepka is going to want Cantlay to stroke, or Koepka is going to want someone else to stroke Cantlay, which is going to be awkward. So they're going to need someone cool there. Insert Ricky Fowler, who, by the way, based on what I understand, endorsements dried up, so he's trying hard at golf again. That's the TLDR for the nerds out there. 7,500. Tell me it's great, Capper.
I don't mind it. It's
what do you mean you don't mind?
Oh, doesn't mind.
I don't mind it. So
That's
I'm not a
music to
Ricky
my
guy.
ears.
I'm not a Ricky guy.
I'm a Ricky
I don't know.
guy.
He always just he just to me he always got too much hype because he wore fucking orange pants.
Oh, so fabulous. So much drip.
Now look, he's been playing really well up until the PGA, right? So you can't knock him on that. And look, you started with two 10K guys. So you're gonna have to find some upside down here. The only thing I'd worry about is he's a darling and he's gonna be very, very, very popular. So you gotta hope he's good chalk and not bad chalk. And especially in like the $7,000 and $6,000 range, you always want to be wary, especially in golf when everybody starts to glob on one person.
Steve,
listen, he's fine. Like he's fine for 7,500. I mean, I just want to kind of see where the rest of your ownership's at.
I do have 800 to spend. But Steve, what's your opinion?
I mean, look, like a lot of golf courses I like to compare LACC to as a reference point. He's done very well at Augusta National, Kapalua. He's really good at that. Both of them have a lot of elevation changes and uneven lies. He was T23 at Southern Hills last year. That's got a little bit wider fairways, rolling topography. Really good at Erin Hills. Same deal there too. Good. I mean, this is way back in the day, and then you kind of have to just trust, like, okay, Ricky's kind of found stuff. Pinehurst was really firm and fast, Bermuda too, and that's what we're going to see this week. So there's a lot of good golf courses to draw upon. His iron play has been great. The off the tee has been up and down, but he has shown some spike weeks, really good around the green. That's really encouraging too. But, like my co-host said, he is generating some popularity, and he was very popular at the PGA and he bombed out. So is that going to happen again? We'll see, but just on its surface, the profile is pretty good. So it's an acceptable pick.
So you wouldn't pivot pivot to Dustin Johnson.
Right.
Did you have 800 to spend? Let's wait to see what the rest of your lineup looks like before we start pivoting.
Oh, all right. I like this.
Come on. Oh, what, are you gonna fix everything?
Oh no, I'm not. I plan on playing this lineup, Sean, and dominating.
I need to get a W.
3 more to go, and I'll tell you what, Sean, you have a chance because the most I spend on any of these next 3 guys is 7,200.
For me, next up, California native, 4th at the PGA Championship, gained 7.5 strokes off the tee at Oak Hill, which led the field. Also 4.4 strokes on approach, ranked him 15th for the week. Loves a protein shake, Mr. Bryson DeChambeau.
That's disgusting. You played Bryson and not Brooks?
Yep.
I'm off the show.
That's it. This is a classic zag. This is when Bryson
Fucking
shows up
nerd.
7,600. Steve, that's a good play at 7,600, right?
Well, let's talk about a little bit about single length irons on uneven lies, and that has been something that Bryson has really struggled with.
His uneven lies.
Really bad at Augusta. He was not very good at Shinnecock Hills. Not very good at Aaron Hills. Hasn't ever really been very good at Kapalua. The theory behind it is because all these irons are one length. Anytime he has the ball above his feet or below his feet, that can be a big problem. He's never really been the best around the green either. So if he's not hitting his irons all that good, that can definitely be, a disadvantage for him this week. He can definitely drive the ball really well.
Yeah.
That can be an advantage. But overall, though, I just, there's definitely a proven track record that anytime there's elevation changes, uneven lies, he's been terrible. So not a fan.
Well, and now I think Steve must have misheard me because I clearly had Justin Rose at 7,700. Capper, what's your take on Justin Rose there?
Much better than Bryson.
Okay, I don't know what Steve heard over there.
Yeah.
Steve, check your connection.
Yeah, he must have misheard you. Because the Bryson, not a great pick.
Okay.
But Rose, look, he's been playing really well, plays well in tough conditions, usually gets off to pretty fast stats. He was doing a ton of it with his putter, but I feel like that's something that he can, typically do when he's standing between like a 5 and an 8 footer. You feel pretty confident when you have money on him, which is always a good sign versus most of the bums I bet who I'm freaking out about. Off the tee, he is a little squirrely, a little short.
Good iron play though, right? Justin Rose?
really good iron player. He's been playing really well. I don't hate the pick at all.
Kramer, how say you? 4th golfer, you're on the clock.
All right, so because of I'm going in price order, I did, and because Cousin Mush is competing at the highest levels of amateur pro golf in Rhode Island tomorrow, and I wanted to give he wanted to collaborate on the show. Is
that who's been helping you?
No, just this one pick. I said, give me a pick. He said, a guy I like is Denny McCarthy, 7,200. Quote, the best putter on tour. He's coming off a runner-up at the Memorial, and he's finishing the top 25, 10 out of his 22 starts this year. So again, I have some money to spend. I don't think I'll need to pivot because these guys are going to love this pick. Steve, you go first.
Well, look, Memorial was really tough, and he's been pretty good on some difficult tracks. He did really well last year at Brookline. I just worry about the fact that he's really short off the tee. He's a really bad long iron player, and honestly, around the green, he can be kind of hit or miss sometimes. Like he's got some spike weeks, but he's also got some clunkers too. So I think if he's gonna for him to really do well this week, he's got to get up and down from everywhere and drain a lot of putts. That's asking a lot for a guy, with that. So, it's a pivot play. But
we need to just cut together all the somewhat positive.
I don't love it.
Capper,
Steve trying to not be super mean.
Danny McCarthy's a loser.
See now, Capper is the Simon Cowell and Steve's the Randy Jackson, where he's just he's trying to be positive. He's trying to give you something.
Shit he's ever said.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's it. He's a loser. He's never won anything. He's probably never going to win anything. He puts really well. Great.
Doyle rules.
All right, great pick, Ryan. Moving on to my pick.
Wow, that didn't go so well.
This is just going to continue to get Capper all worked up. Although I don't know, maybe he's off him. I like him at this price. I like him at this course. Keegan Bradley, $7,600. Capper, let's take this to the bank. Tell people why he's a great value play this week.
He is a great value play, and typically I'd be worried about him being chalky, but he is not chalk because he's right around Bryson and Ricky and Wyndham Clark for whatever reason. But yeah, listen, Keegan, long and straight off the box, one of the best long iron players in the world. He's a little squirrely around the greens, which makes me a little nervous. Used to be a terrible, awful putter. It would cripple him. Now he's using that really annoying super long aim point, but I don't care because it's helping my boy putt. He's playing better at the beginning of the year. It's kind of been middling since he got sold. But look, this is the type of course that suits him well. Played really well in Brookline last year. I know it was a home game for him, but he was legit in contention on Sunday, and I can see him doing it again. And he's another guy who makes birdies, and we're talking about DraftKings, so you want scoring. You want somebody who can outscore his finishing position.
Love it, Steve. Do you share Capper's enthusiasm?
I mean, not as much as my co-host, but I mean, he just like I'm the Brooks Koepka homer, he's the Keegan Bradley homer. I mean, like there's some things you can point to where, his iron play has definitely been up and down recently, and that's probably why he hasn't been doing all that great, but he's been driving it relatively well. He's been really good around the green too. I mean, his US Open history is definitely up and down, but he's got a T7 last year, Brookline, a T4 back at Pinehurst with the really firm and fast fairways there too. I mean, T23 at the Masters this year with the elevation changes. So, and his ownership is really low. I think that's actually important. So, I mean, for a guy who has shown some upside this year on some difficult courses with his low ownership, it's worth a stab, especially between, a popular Bryson DeChambeau and, and a popular Rose and a popular Neiman. So yeah, that's definitely a pivot there, which I actually think might be a decent pivot.
Oh wait, he liked your pivot more than my pivot.
Yes, a decent pivot. That's all you can ask for here.
That's nice.
Oh, and we have he must have heard his ears burning. The cousin Mush himself in the chat saying, "Talk about losers." Keegan Bradley miscut. Wow. I should play Keegan Bradley outright after that bold statement by a cousin Mush.
125 to 1.
Let's go, baby. Let's go, baby. Kramer, what do you got?
Capper really loves that dude. All right, so
trying to cheer him up.
in less than a week, we had the merger / hostile takeover of golf.
Yes.
We then had an absolutely electric Canadian Open that was won by a Canadian on a fucking awesome long ass shot, and then one of his countrymen who finished 12th in the same event ran on the green with champagne, spraying it everywhere, trying to celebrate, and he gets absolutely speared by this security guard who, you see the way he negotiated that guard coming through the hole and just popped him. How do I not play Adam Hadwin for 6,900 in the US Open?
I need to do it. We need to get a meme of like me shaking the champagne. I'm that guy with like, debuting my DFS lineup, and then Capper and Steve are the security guards tackling
that slow cinematic view where you see.
Oh, dude, yeah, I put it in the Discord. If you haven't seen the alternate angle, it's really pretty. Yeah, it's like pretty cool video.
So yeah, based on all that, I figured I wanted to talk about Adam Hadwin. So a good way to talk about
him. Mojo move there, right?
And so he's also 6,900. I was like, come on, DraftKings, like, what are you doing? And you're making it so he's going to be a popular. Obviously, it's gonna be so easy to click. Adam, you're going to scroll down. You see Adam Hadwin at 6,900. You'll be like, oh, that's the dude that got tackled. Doink. All right, that he's in the lineup. Serious responses from the judges only. Steve.
Well, look, I mean, if you're going to pick a shorter player, you want a guy like Adam Hadwin, where he's pretty good around the green and a relatively good putter, and he has, he limits the bogeys. So that can work. I mean, he played very well last year at the US Open. I think my problem with him is overall, he's actually on record of saying he hates playing on Bermuda, and this is a Bermuda tee to green golf course. Just a lot of really bad results. You look at some of his recent results on Bermuda golf courses. He lost 0.8 strokes per round with his irons at Quail Hollow, lost 2.3 at Harbortown, lost 1.3 at Austin Country Club, lost 1.1 at Valspar, lost
Jesus.
0.67 at Bay Hill,
This
and
is
so
bad.
on and so on and so on. So the guy just doesn't hit very well off of Bermuda. If this was a different golf course with a different grass, I think I could get behind that. But on Bermuda, I think he might have a lot of trouble.
All right, Capper.
Yeah. I mean,
right.
he's not wrong. Listen, we got money to work with. Let's see who your next terrible pick is, and then we can see.
I'm already penciling an upgrade from Hadwin to Keegan Bradley. We've achieved. We've achieved the top. I haven't done it yet. It's not a final answer. I want to hear their take.
I'm going
on
to the
game.
judges with this. That's
it's my favorite part of American Idol was the phone a friend segment. So.
that was Who Wants to Be a Millionaire.
Thank you, Sean.
You're welcome. All right, my next golfer. Here we go.
This is your fifth golfer, right?
Fifth golfer.
Yes.
I'm worried he could be chalky because of how cheap he is. He's made 18 in the last 19 cuts. He had a 3 under 69 on Sunday. Finish 5 under, tied for 38. So he's been playing relatively pretty good. He's a hometown kid. He was born in California, went to college at Pepperdine right down the street here. Give me Sahith Theegala for $7,600. Capper, how say you on Sahith this week?
So here's the deal. He's fun to watch. He's
Look
very,
at Steve's trying to not laugh.
He's really, really squirrely, to say the nicest thing you can say off the tee, and he can really put himself in jail at this course. I mean, he is just insanely inconsistent with coming off the tee and really with his irons. He can make putts, but he is just very, very, very volatile. I don't like his profile for this course. If it plays how we think it's going to play.
Steve, how say you? Any positives on Sahith Theegala?
Well, I think it's very brave of you going back to the hometown narrative after you tried to say a guy from Westchester, New York, who's from close.
I knew you were going to bring that up. I knew it.
So props to you. I hope it works out a little better than Cam Young did in his hometown, apparently here. So look, I mean, what my co-host said is definitely correct. Sahith has definitely been slumping, especially off the tee. Now there is a lot of room here. But the problem is that you can't miss in the wrong spots, and that definitely can be Sahith's game. He is really volatile. You don't really want that.
But that don't you want that?
Now,
don't you want that though? In a
positive for him. He was really good at Augusta National, and that is a comp course to this place with the uneven lies. He finished ninth there. He has shown to be okay in some difficult scoring conditions this year with a 6th at Riviera, 4th at Torrey Pines. The problem is though, like that's even though he did well in California, those tracks, it's a different agronomy what we're going to see here. And I don't think his Bermuda record overall is tremendously strong. So, I mean, it's a volatile play. I think he's got a lot of talent, but it could blow up in your face, or it could be really rewarding. I don't think he's very highly owned this week. So,
that's what I want. DFS, baby.
That's what they're saying. Me putting Koepka and Cantlay on the same team could end up, one guy stroking another and blows up in his face. No one wants.
Ryan.
It's the new Live Tour. Sorry. It's not the Live Tour. It's the new tour that isn't the Live Tour, but it's gonna be
Ryan.
Cool.
I remember years ago, you and another a former Boston contributor here on this very podcast saying Tariq Cohen, that's a horrible pick. And that squirrely gentleman helped me nail $200,000 in a DraftKings $1,000,000 Mayor.
Yeah, that's a loaded question.
You gotta dare to dream, Ryan. You gotta dare to dream. Speaking of dream, again, shout out to Las Vegas. Kramer, what do you got here? Who's your sixth golfer?
What year was that NFC or AFC East preview?
Oh, where Capper? It was
two chowder.
Probably
heads.
Our worst podcast of all time.
Yeah, it might be the worst one.
And that's saying something.
All right,
we'll have to dig that from the archives.
Last pick. I assume he'll be a little chalky because of how consistent he has been making the cut. He showed up in the Masters. Amateur Sam Bennett 6,500. Again, didn't have a ton of money. Not much else to it other than the fact that this kid clearly has some fucking onions, to quote Bill Raftery. Capper.
Onions.
Yeah, so he's definitely he's definitely gonna be popular, right? Because we've seen him. He's played in majors. He's kind of shown himself. He's kind of an arrogant prick, right?
Yeah,
which is what you need. Which you need.
Oh, dude, he went to Texas A&M,
He's a
which, by the
professional
way,
golfer.
respect to Cam, your guy's producer, also good-looking kid from Texas A&M.
Well, Ryan, careful, you don't get an HR thing.
Well, he's very. I mean, Cam's good looking. He's the sales guy. But listen, these motherfuckers love the pageantry a little too much, and they're from Texas, so being an arrogant prick makes a little sense. Golfer,
everything's bigger in Texas.
Well, yeah. I mean, he's not that.
I mean, look,
good looking.
He played last week and he played well, man. Top 20, top 20 at the Masters too. I like the fact that he got out here the week before and got competitive golf in because he's such a young kid. But yeah, I don't hate it at all. I mean, the rest of your lineup isn't like uber chalk, so yeah, I'm fine with it.
Steve.
Well, I mean, look, he's an immensely talented player. Did well at the Masters. Did well last week. I mean, this is a very difficult cut to make. Only top 60 in ties, but as far as the rest of the DFS pool, it's one of the most difficult to get 6 of 6. So to take a stab on a guy who has shown well in a major before, I think the only concern I have with him is he's really short off the tee. So it's going to be a lot of really long approach shots, and he's still just coming into his own. We'll see how refined he is with his iron play. Doesn't seem like he's all that great around the green either. Those have been 2 trouble spots from the last 2 weeks. So if he's not hitting his irons all that good, that could get him in trouble. But great talent. I don't think his ownership is going to be all that crazy. It'd be relatively high for a $6,500 play, but still looking at like 4% or so.
Right, which is high for 6,500. And yeah, I mean, look, you're down here at 6,500, man. He's going to have plenty of warts. I mean, that's the reason he's 6,500, and you're taking a flyer on the talent.
So do I leave 800 on the table, or do I upgrade McCarthy to Keegan Bradley? Judges.
I would see. I would wait. Did you say McCarthy? I thought you were getting rid of Hadwin.
Oh, Hadwin. Sorry, Hadwin.
Yeah. I would get rid of Hadwin. I don't like it.
Hadwin to Keegan Bradley.
I'll trust the Keegan whisperer on this.
All right. You know what I got to do, Sean. I'm going to play both lineups. Actually, you know what? Last time I listened to you motherfuckers, you were wrong. I'm holding strong. This guy just got speared tackle on national television in slow motion while trying to celebrate. By the way, watch that video. He barely spills any of that champagne. Does not let go of the bottle.
I did notice that. That was pretty strong.
Yeah. He knew not to let go of the bottle. It's like when you see someone jump into a pool with a beer and they're holding that hand up in the air to keep it out of the water. It's beautiful. All right. Final answer. Oh, you didn't give out your last one yet.
No, I didn't.
I'm sorry. I was just gloating on my victory already.
We already talked about him. I'm sure he's going to catch a ton of ownership here. He's only $7,000, bottom of the barrel. But I like any bottom of the barrel that has Phil Mickelson at the bottom. You want to talk about confidence? You want to talk about feeling yourself? Imagine the just swagger that Phil Mickelson has. I mean, he's second place in the Masters.
Yeah. What does he do? Right? He just hit bombs. He hits bombs.
He's teamed up with Rory. I mean, come on.
Wow.
You just won that huge year-long riff. I mean, could you imagine how loose Phil Mickelson is? He literally has nothing to lose. He's turning 53 on Friday. You get the little birthday mojo, the Grand Slam mojo.
That'd be like sitting Pakistan and India next to each other at the UN. It's not a good idea.
Phil Mickelson at $7,000. I would imagine he's catching ownership because people like Phil. But maybe I'm wrong. Capper, what's your thought?
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely not getting any ownership. He's less than 2%.
Oh, wow. Awesome.
Because he's objectively bad at golf now, right? Other than
how did he get second place in the Masters? I'm objectively bad.
That's fair too, right? Both things can be true. So he knows Augusta like the back of his hand, right? So he knows where to miss, he knows what he can do, he knows where all the breaks are on the greens. It's old man golf. I mean, you've seen it when you play with these guys at the courses that you play randomly, and they're hitting, some sort of hybrid off the box, and then they're like, and they just kill you with old man golf. And that's what Mickelson did at Augusta. He was terrible at the PGA. Me and Steve actually watched him for a couple holes, and he's not good, man. And I'm out on Phil.
That's fair, but again, for $7,000, bottom of the barrel. I don't know. To me, there's a narrative, and I like to support my fellow gamblers. Steve, I know you were already kind of out on him winning, but what about $7,000 as a DFS play here?
Yeah, I mean it's kind of counteracting forces. I mean, I think because his name is Phil Mickelson, he's $7,000. I think he's definitely overpriced based on what you're getting out of him at this stage of his career. But he's going to have low ownership. I mean, there's definitely a lot of guys around here with low ownership around him. I mean, like Austin Eckler's been playing a little better lately. I kind of like Patrick Rogers a little bit for this golf course too. That's another option. But listen, it's Phil Mickelson. You know, I mean, if he gets some magic with the short game, just makes a weekend here. You know, I mean, that's really all you're looking for at $7,000 and low ownership. And if that helps you get towards a 6 of 6, then, you know, then it was worth it.
Real
I'll
quick,
take that
Sean,
as a win.
just to be clear, the Phil Mickelson direct quote from the tweet that you were mentioning earlier,
Yes.
which, by the way, was a response to an article by Eamon Lynch, Eamon Lynch, where basically Phil replies to Twitter. This guy posted, he posts his article about Phil. Phil responds, pointing out that he was right, blah, blah, blah. Then another reply comes in, says, speaking of professional help, how is your gambling addiction?
Yeah.
To which Phil says, haven't gambled in years, almost a billionaire now. Thanks for asking. Just absolute, just the Phil.
Well, the 760 one is like later on in that thread.
Cut to 20 years ago with buff ass Tiger Woods and nerdy ass Phil Mickelson walking down the fairway and tell me that Phil was going to turn into this fucking international. He's like a Bond villain.
I really had no opinion on Phil Mickelson, but like the gambling stuff, the like leaning into it's kind of, how do you not like this guy? It's very weird. But Kramer, what do you? Also, the fact that like an accounting firm sponsored him after he was convicted of insider trading is just again
very true.
another level of
true.
like, oh yeah, of course I'll endorse your CPA firm.
KPMG.
Well, that's the best
KPMG.
part. These companies are like, they're known for being like the audit firms of like accountability. Funnier, then there's a response to Phil that says, dude, I'm a big Phil fan, but holy shit, man, just admit you enjoy gambling. No one believes you haven't placed a bet in years, and saying it makes you look silly. Just own that you like a little action once in a while. There are plenty of us who love it for, love you more for it.
Yeah, come on. He's a D-Gen. No use hiding it. All right, so in just a final, John Rahm, Cam Smith, Justin Rose, Keegan Bradley, Sahith Theegala. Sahith, and then Phil Mickelson for me. Kramer, rattle off your official.
US Open champion and my guy Brooks Koepka, Patrick Cantlay, Ricky Fowler, Mr. McCarthy, aka the cousin Mush pick. Best putter on tour is what he said. Adam Hadwin, who got spear tackled by the security guard, and amateur Sam Bennett.
All right, now what else do we got here? Final bets. Anything else we want to give out? Obviously, make sure you subscribe to the Golf Gambling Podcast. For me, I did play some first round leader bets that I'll give out. Some of which before we did DFS Idol, so I'm still going to give them out. First up, we got my boy Sahith Theegala at 100-1. Again, I know I'm not going to bet him to win it all, but you know, local kid having a good first round at 100-1. You can talk me into that. John Rahm at 25-1 is the first round leader. That to me is just, I don't know. I understand it's one of the chalkier plays, but I like that. Hatton at 50-1. And then this kid, Kit Yaya, is 125-1.
Kittyama? Are you trying to say Kittyama? Even I know Kittyama.
No, it's Kittyaya.
No, Kittyama, not Kittyaya.
Okay. All right. So
John's gonna get canceled.
Oh, you're right. There is an M in there. All right, Kurt Kitayama. The kid's and he may not be a kid. He's 125-1. He did pretty good at the Royal Canadian Open.
Nice job. Sean.
And then my outrights: John Rahm 9-1, Justin Rose 45-1, Phil Mickelson 250-1. You heard it here first. Kramer, what do you got?
Sorry, just
you put $4 on it. You win 1,000, and you just get to enjoy. Look at just Phil throwing it in everyone's face. Like, how fun is that?
Thumbs up everywhere.
All right. Are you ready?
Yep.
Okay. I am gonna take Brooks Koepka to beat Scotty Scheffler at plus 165.
Like that.
Okay.
I'm getting sophisticated with my plays this week. I'm also gonna fade the very. Oh wait, here we go. I'm going to fit. Wait, here we go. Sorry, I'm going to fade Mr. Max Homa with Tyler Hatton minus 1.5 strokes, minus 110. I'm then going to take an outright on Brooks, one outright, single bullet. It makes the cheapness of the price worth take. Now, here's the question: do I go full football bet on this?
Yes. If you're only doing one,
okay. And then for the first round leader, I'm going to give you 3. We're going to go Ricky Fowler at 50 to 1 or whatever whatever the best price you can find is.
Yep.
I am also going to play. I also played Adam Hadwin before we talked about this. And then lastly, I mean, he's 300. And lastly, I played another one on Sam Bennett. So
Sam Bennett, what is he?
You know what? I'm adding Brooks Koepka's 30 to 1. I'll add Brooks.
All right.
What's Sam Bennett's numbers? Like 250? What is that?
I refreshed the wrong screen here. Hold on.
Oh my God.
It doesn't matter. He's not winning.
Well, you asked the question. I can get you that.
Steve, if you had
he's 200 to 1.
Steve, if you had to co-sign one of our bets and ride along with one of our bets, which one of those?
Ask him for his own. Ask him for his own.
What do you mean?
No, I'm just saying. Give us a good bet, not one of our bets.
Well, Steve, which of these is the most appealing, if any?
I mean, I got to side with Brooks Koepka's single bullet. I mean, it's not on my card, but I always respect somebody who puts their nuts on the line for Brooks Koepka. So yes, that's the one I would co-sign.
And by the way, Steve, have you seen the pictures of Darren Waller? God damn, what a god this man is.
God. I am very excited about him streaming across the middle and lighting up safeties all year. It's gonna be great.
Well, hopefully you got Saquon there. I know God. There's some.
Suddenly, Sean cares about running backs. It's interesting.
You need to use a top 5 pick on a running back, extend them, give him that long-term deal. Capper, if you had to pick one of these bets we just gave out, which one do you like the best?
So for outrights, yours, because I also bet Rom. You can definitely still get a better number than 9. I like Kramer's matchup though too. I love that matchup.
The Brooks one.
Yeah, Brooksy. You get plus money.
I was surprised
Scotty.
to see that.
So I took a similar bet with Ron plus money against Scotty. These guys are also fucking good. Anytime you can get plus money when they're basically the same, like
plus 165 for Brooks and Scheffler feels like. What am I missing?
Yeah.
Well, listen, as bad as Scotty is, he's top 5ing everything. So I mean,
yeah,
you know what I mean. Like if he puts just slightly less shitty, he wins an event by like 4 strokes.
All right, I'm going football bet Brooks. Let's go.
There you go. Toss the football bet in on Brooks. Big thanks to the Golf Gambling Podcast, guys. Of course, make sure to subscribe to the Golf Gambling Podcast. Bunch of great videos over on Twitter, youtube.com. Make sure you look them up over there. Follow them on social media, Twitter at Golf Gambling Pod, Boston Capper at Boston_Capper. Check out the Discord. The golf Discord is a lot of fun. Steve gives a lot of great info in there, answers a ton of the listener questions there. These guys kill it. So make sure you subscribe to all the golf gambling stuff. Smash that subscribe button. We continued to give out ton of episodes, content. What do we got, Ryan? We got a little college football futures, more NFL futures.
Yeah, I think we'll find a way to talk maybe some
USFL, college baseball. Noah's been on a great run. College baseball. Excellent.
Unfortunately, the NBA's over, so we no longer have an NBA finals prediction show tomorrow. So we'll figure something out.
Thank you for participating in the Sports Gambling Podcast.
And more best ball, Sean.
Oh, yeah. For the Sports Gambling Podcast, I'm Sean, stacking the money green, and he is Ryan.
Just put a $500 bet on Brooks Koepka to win the US Open.
Kramer, let it ride.